So now I'm going to show you some of the distributor options that I've encountered over the years for this 226 flathead 6 motor. I have 3 distributors here. I have an original from a 4748 Fraser. I'm not sure at what point they were Fraser and what point they were Kaiser Fraser. I know Kaiser bought Willys around 1953, but I'm not sure when Fraser and Kaiser joined. I think it was probably 48, 49, I'm not sure. But anyway, this distributor is for the Continental 226. This one's been rebuilt. I was lucky I bought it from a guy that sources old car parts. So it's all rebuilt, factory rebuilt, ready to go if I need to use a stock single point distributor. If you look in there, you can see it's just a single point. Nothing wrong with that. They work great. However, it doesn't really give you much of a eye candy, cool part under the hood kind of thing. You know, speed equipment type thing. So this would go through the cylinder head. When I show you my cylinder heads, I will be showing you also the where the distributor goes down through the cylinder head, and it'll help you knowing the location of that hole. When you see a cylinder head at a swap meet or so, something like that, it will help you to determine whether it's actually a 226 or not. It won't tell you definitively, but it will help you. So this actually spins through, drives this rod right here, which goes down through the cylinder head and drives your oil pump down inside the motor. So the reason why I brought this in to show you is because this is stock. So the next thing I want to show you is the mount. This mount right here. These are either pot metal, white metal, I don't know what you call it. I've never been able to weld them. You hit them with a TIG welder or a MIG welder and they evaporate. Other people, better qualified welding and such, can probably do it. So these are not they're not easy to find in good condition. They like to crack. They like to crack right here where it bolts down onto the cylinder head. And again, when I bring my cylinder heads out later, I'm going to put this on the cylinder head. I'll pop a distributor in. I'll show you how this all works. Again, that it won't be so abstract. But again, this is a part that some clever Joe that does 3D printing could probably start making and probably sell a few, because they break. They break there and then you really can't use them. They go on over the bottom of the distributor like this, down onto the cylinder head, bolted to the cylinder head. There you go. So that's why I'm showing you that. This is basically a stock 226 setup. So the next item I want to show you is this. This is an electronic distributor, and it says right on it, Perlux, P-E-R-L-U-X. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but I can always add it later. And this came off from a portable compressor that was driven by an industrial Continental 226 Flathead 6. And so this has got electronics inside of it. I haven't run this. I don't know how this would work. I know it worked great on that particular, I can't even take it apart. But anyway, so it's electronics in here. It's an electronic pickup. I acquired this, somebody gave me the compressor. I had it hauled away. I gave the compressor to a friend on the stipulation that he'd pull this out for me and put a stock distributor in its place, so I'd have this in the future in case I wanted to play with it on one of my motors. So I can't really say how well this works, other than I know it worked really great on that air compressor. So I don't know why it wouldn't work great on your 226. And so the point I want to make also is that there's a lot of industrial applications for the Continental Red Seal 226, which is the same motor that all these cars have. Same basic motor, Kaiser, Fraser, Willys, Jeep, etc. So there's a lot of parts available from Heister and other fork truck companies and generator companies and companies that do air compressors, portable equipment. That motor is still being used today in a lot of equipment. So there's a lot of options to find interesting things. So this is a Mallory dual point distributor. You can see the tag right there for the 226 Flathead 6. This is not an easy piece to find, but compared to some of the other stuff I'm going to show you, it's easy. You'll be able to find a McCulloch supercharger long before you'll find one of these. And they pop up on eBay, on the magic eBay, quite often with even new old stock. I've got a new old stock on the box down there. I'm going to show you in a minute. But as you see, dual points. And I believe, best of both worlds, I believe you might be able to get an electronics ignition upgrade to put in here, replace this, maybe Protronics or something similar. I don't know. This one was on my Willys Jeep sedan delivery that I mentioned earlier that I restored, and it worked so sweet, I just left it alone. And again, when I sold the truck, I put a stock single point back on and kept this for my next project one of these days. Let's see if we can get to it. So anyway, so I'm going to grab real quick. I should have had it ready. It's right here, the new old stock distributor I have. So this is a Mallory dual point, new old stock in the box. The box has had it. It's pretty rough. But I'm showing you this because it's actually not a 226. It's neat paperwork in here that comes with it. All the original paperwork is kind of cool. Okay. If you're interested in seeing that or not, but I'll put it up there. So let me move this box out of the way. So this is different, and the difference is this shaft right here. If you look at this, this is actually a new old stock dual point distributor for the 161 flathead 6-cylinder, which was, I believe, a Willys based motor. It was found in the Willys. It was found in Henry J. It's the flathead 6 that they ran in the Darren, and it was, Jeepsters had them. It was a smaller flathead 6, and it was not a Continental motor. It was a Willys motor, I believe. So this is also, I've never found, just so you know, I've never found one of these with a tachometer drive attachment to them. I would love to. That'd be pretty sweet. So I bought this because I'm interested in those motors as well, but I don't really have enough equipment to do a video on the 161 Willys flathead 6. But if you look at these side by side, they're actually the same pretty much, except for the drive. And these drives are held in with a pin. So I'm quite confident that I can knock that pin out, put one of these drives on there, and I've got myself a 226 distributor. You need to decide for yourself if that'll work for you or not, but I know that I can do it. So, or I'll fail, but I'm pretty sure I can do it. Because, Mallory made like one case. I bet this case is very similar for other 6-cylinder dual points, maybe even Studebakers or whatever. Just to keep production costs down, they could use the same cases and just change the drives. So you may find other distributors that are six-cylinder dual points that all you have to do is change your drive off from it, and you can use it on your 226 Continental, your Kaiser motor, your Jeep motor. So anyway, so these are neat pieces, and again, like I said earlier, most of these parts I found long before eBay was around. I ran advertisements in Henry Motors News. I joined the Kaiser Fraser Owners Club. So I did a lot of searching to get this stuff. Nowadays, you could probably find them, but when they come up for sale, they don't last long. So if you find it and you want it, you better grab it, and you can. Okay, so I can't think of anything else about distributors at the moment. So I'm going to go into dual exhaust. Okay, so what I have here are some very uncommon pieces of equipment. They're not aftermarket speed equipment. It's an intake manifold and a pair of cast iron intake manifold that fits the 226 Kaiser motor, Willys Jeep motor, and cast iron exhaust manifolds, dual exhaust manifolds. These are factory pieces, and they come. You find them. You can find them, but they're very uncommon on Graham Page. I believe late 30s Graham Page supercharged motors had the dual exhaust manifolds. So these manifolds, I'm going to show you one. That's where the exhaust comes out, and that's where it goes to either the front 3 ports, the rear 3 ports. I'm going to show you this set. I've got this set mounted on a 54 Kaiser Manhattan motor, the other part of my garage. After I get done talking about these here, I'm going to run over and just quickly put a little bit of video on so you can see them mounted. So what I've encountered is And here's the other one. Exhaust out here, exhaust in here from the motor, the 3 ports. So they'd be on the side of the motor. They'd either be on like this on the side of the motor, I don't know if you can see that, or they'd be like this. Memory, I'm pretty sure they go together like this. So these are really cool. So if you find these and you buy them, but try to get the intake manifold that matches it. They're designed to clear each other when they're mounted on the motor. The Kaiser Fraser in the Willys Jeep 226 intake manifolds are much more bulky than this one, and it does not clear these manifolds. So it would suck. You buy these manifolds, you get all excited, you go to bolt them on, and they don't clear. And I believe if you're really generous with grinding and maybe patching holes and welding after you've ground too much by accident, you might be able to get these exhaust manifolds to work with a stock Kaiser or Willys Jeep intake manifold. I don't bother. I just try to source the original matching Graham intake manifold. Now, if you do that, you may have to either purchase or design and make yourself. Again, maybe with your 3D printing, or if you get somebody at the machine shop that can make you an aluminum spacer adapter for your carburetor. So I'm going to brake now. And I actually have 2 sets of these. So like I said, I got one on the motor. I'm going to go over right now and get a little bit of footage of it with one on the motor. And then I'm going to come back and I'll move on to the next item. So this is a 1954 Kaiser Manhattan 226. And it also has the automatic transmission, which is a 4-speed automatic, turbo hydromatic. Very, very similar to the same, it's a GM transmission, or it was licensed from GM. Very similar to the automatics that they used in the some of the Chevy and GMC pickups, some of the Cadillacs, Buicks, Oldsmobiles. I'm not an expert on those transmissions, but I was told that the transmission for the Kaiser had 3 bands, and maybe the bigger cars had 4 bands or something. Anyway, the ones for the bigger cars were more durable, stronger, because of course this little 226 at 118 horsepower was not going to damage that massive automatic. This is a 2-wheel drive motor and transmission. If you're looking for a unique period automatic to put into a 2-wheel drive hot rod that you want to run a flathead 226 in it, this is a no-brainer. That's why I bought it 20 years ago. Still sitting here. At some point, I'll use it. I'll get around to it. So, okay. So anyway, so here you can see the reason why I came over. You can see the Graham intake. You see the 2 Graham exhaust manifolds mounted on the motor, and they look nice on there. Obviously, you know, I would, you know, clean them and maybe powder coat them or paint them properly when the time comes. But that's how it fits. That's what it looks like. You can see that the 2 exhaust outlets are towards the center, going straight down. Nothing special about, you know, nothing really special about the rest of this motor. It's all original. It's a running motor. At some point, I'll put in something 2-wheel drive that I'm going to build. Maybe I'll use this with all my other speed equipment someday. Anyway, I hope this video comes out. I'm going to go back to some more interesting items.